This is our three-step process for getting coaching prospects from going from cold to sold in 24 to 48 hours. My name is Jason Nyback. I own a company that provides coaching and consulting to coaches. And we invest about $1 million here on Facebook ads. And I want to talk to you about how we are doing this. Because there's a lot of coaches out there who spend their time trying to get cold potential coaching prospects to being quote, quote, sold. And all this they get is garbage leads, a lot of no's, people no-showing on calls, people telling them they have no money, and they don't know what to do. Because let's face it, eventually you will outgrow your network, okay? So like maybe you have a network of followers on LinkedIn or Facebook group or whatever. Eventually, like once you pull all the low-hanging fruit and message enough people, it's just going to hit the law of diminishing returns. And the time invested in these organic strategies are not paying off like they did when you first started because you had some pent-up demand and now you don't have anything. Now it's just like crickets, right? So the next step, as a lot of coaches will do, is the coaches we work with are ones who are established. They already have a client. They already have clients. They know what they're doing, is they want to run ads. And the biggest problem they have is getting these people to a same level of somebody who's a referral or same level as somebody who has been in their Facebook group for 5 years and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You do the call with this person and they're like, oh, hey, yeah, so-and-so told me to reach out to you. They said your coaching program's $5K. No problem. That's great. They said you're the best at this. Looking forward to working with you. You're like, oh, that was easy. And then, somebody reaches out to you maybe on Facebook and says, oh, I've been following your stuff for 5 years now. I love your Facebook Lives and all that stuff. Oh my gosh, everything you've told me has worked. I just want more help. How much is it? You're like, well, it's $5K. They're like, okay, no problem. I can do that. Let's do it, right? And then you go to ads and you run a Facebook ad and you fill a calendar full of people and you're like, who are you again? Why are you calling me? Next one, I don't even know who you are. Next one, what are you talking about? Next one, how much is it? Well, it's $5K. I'm not interested. Next one, what kind of scam are you running? Next one, you know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, you finally find somebody who you can go through the whole call with, and then they get to the end and be like, you know what, I don't have any money. Okay? And you're like, what do I do? Here's our three-step process, and I've used this for years upon years upon years, and it's still working like crazy. First step, what we do, and this is what we teach our clients too, we use a disqualifying ad. What is a disqualifying ad? Well, it's the most important part. Okay, let's say you are a mindset coach and you're working with people who want to have a better mindset, overcome their limiting beliefs and stuff like that. A normal ad would be like, hey, are you struggling with your limiting beliefs? Keep sabotaging yourself. I have this amazing whatever. I'm going to show you how to overcome your limiting beliefs, right? That's a normal traditional ad. And they work terrible because you're just pulling in anything. The number one question you've got to ask yourself is who has your money and who can afford it, right? Well, it's two questions, but you know what I'm saying. And so, like, does the person working the late night drive-through window at the local fast food restaurant have your $5K? Is that your qualified client? No. So what we want to do is we want to write a disqualifying ad. And that ad is pretty much 75% about what not the type of person they're not. And you want to spend the rest of the time talking about the exact specific person you're trying to reach on your ad. Maybe it's professionals making 6 figures a year, work 50 hours a week, have all these problems, and maybe their marriage is a wreck and all that kind of stuff. You want to craft it around that. So when it's tight and it's only speaking to the person who you think has the money, guess what? The other people are disqualified and not hearing anything. They're not going to click on that. So that's the first step, is we're going to bring the right people in through a disqualifier, a major disqualifying ad. The second thing is, what is the funnel or the mechanism we need to get them excited about booking a call? Here's what doesn't work. Sending them to a video or sending them to some sort of ebook or a free report type situation, or straight up just getting them to book a call. I mean, they don't even know you. They've only read your ad. Here's the problem with lead magnets, okay, is that nobody consumes them, okay, because they're a commodity. Everybody's got an ebook and a 5-minute video and stuff like that. And the majority of people, what will happen is they're not going to read it. They're not going to look at it. If they're excited about booking a call, they're going to book a call without ever consuming any of the information. They're just going to book the call. They're going to hit that page and be like, I don't have time for this 15-minute video. They just book the call, okay? They're completely unqualified. They don't know who you are. They don't know anything about you. There's no bond. There's no connection. You see where I'm going with this? And then they just book a call. And you wonder why nobody's showing up for your calls, and people who do are telling you you're broke. They're not broke. They just don't want to give you their money. Okay, now, so what do we do? Well, before I tell you what we do, I need you to do a couple things for me. First things first, hit the like button. So that way I can get you more of these videos, and hit the subscribe button. All right, now, what in the world do? We run people to a automated webinar that starts every 15 minutes. Okay, I've tested everything, and again, here's what you got to make sure you do not do. Do not make the mistake of thinking just because you can get cheap leads and cheap costs per application that they're actually qualified and want to work with you, because they don't, and they're not. So we're going to run them to a webinar that starts every 15 minutes. You're going to wait, and then they're going to come on that webinar. And that webinar is going to be 45 minutes-ish, something like that. And we don't have time today to go through what's in that webinar. You can watch mine if you want to see what's in it, but we just don't have time. But the goal of that webinar is to get them to a place where they actually want to book a call, where they know enough about you, they feel confident enough in what you're saying, they feel like they've diagnosed their problem, and all kinds of stuff. There's a whole bunch of things, okay? And they're going to go through that, and they're going to get to the end of that, and they're going to book a call. And guess what? They don't get the option to book a call till the end, because we need to build that relationship. We need to build that relationship frequency to get it as high as possible, okay? Then at the end of that, they're going to book a call. Are you going to get less calls normally than if you just took somebody from an ad to an application page? Well, yeah, obviously, but you're going to get better calls. They're going to be people who actually want to talk to you. And then you're going to get a high show-up rate if you do it right, okay? Then what we do is we get them to book a call, and then once we book a call, we use a relationship building process, or like an indoctrination system, where it allows us to give them some free training, some specific stuff, so that they feel their maybe objections are heard before the call, that maybe you're building up the relationship around certain areas, something like we do, right? Like, for example, what I do is we need a lot of proof, right? And so that's where I'm going to show a ton of proof, maybe open into my ad account, show proof of that kind of stuff, so that people know and really build that relationship even higher. So when the call's booked, they know me, they've seen proof, they've seen all this stuff, they're excited, they get it, and then they come on the call and show up at about 80-90%. And then the right people move forward, and then we go from there. Now, that works a million times better than just driving people straight to a call, a lead magnet, all that kind of stuff. Or what about a live webinar? A lot of people ask, well, should I take people to a live webinar? Here's the problem with live webinars. They are a nightmare. How many times do you want to do the same webinar? Think about it, okay? Second of all, when you run ads, the assumption is you're going to run ads, right? And so you're running these ads. Ads just need to run and run and run, okay? Now, if it's a Monday and your ads are running and your webinar's on a Wednesday, well, it's not that bad. But then on Wednesday, now what? You gotta sign them all up for a webinar for next Wednesday, and just first of all, that'd be exhausting. I'm doing the same webinar every week. Second of all, the show-up rate for live webinars is horrific. Okay. Excuse me, unless you're giving away a car or something like that, if they show up, good luck getting any more than about a 35% show-up rate, if you're good. My automated webinars average about I just checked actually, over the last 21,000 registrations for my webinar, I've averaged about a 70% show up rate. Okay, that's high. So inevitably you need them to show up, and you only got to do the webinar once, and that's the beauty of it. And people don't care. Okay, this is not 1999. All right, they want the information. They want to know it's good, and that's what they're looking for, and that's what we provide them. So what you need to realize is that there's a million ways to do things out there, but the problem is, remember, you're not looking for cheap leads. You're looking for qualified calls, okay? So don't get into this game where you're trying to drive Facebook ad costs to the, down, and you're trying to just get as many cheap leads as you can, okay? Rarely does cheap leads equal qualified calls. You need a proper system to do it. This is the 3-step process we use for getting coaching prospects from cold to sold in around 24 to 48 hours. All right, see you on the next video.